Big Bad Beetleborgs. Big Bad Beetleborgs. I think that looks pretty good. And is my camera running? Hey guys, welcome to Super Important Reviews. My name's Steve, and today I'll be going over the Bandai Tamashii SH Figuarts Beetle Fighter Blue Beets, or as some of you may also know him as the Blue Stinger from Big Bad Beetleborgs. So I'll just give you guys a heads up, I've never actually seen the original Beetle Fighter show, which came over from Japan, so I pretty much exclusively bought this figure from his street cred of Big Bad Beetleborgs, which used a lot of the fighting footage from Beetle Fighter in that TV show, just kind of like how they did with Power Rangers and Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, which if you guys haven't actually seen Big Bad Beetleborgs, he's the Blue Stinger Beetleborg, which is the armor for Drew, who was the leader of the Big Bad Beetleborgs with his friends Roland and Joe, which how they get their powers is when they get challenged to go into the Hillhurst Mansion in the first episode by Trip and Van, they end up exploring the mansion, find a bunch of Universal reject monsters from in the film, so that's already winning for me because there's like Frankenstein's monster, vampire, there's the mummy, so it's already winning. And eventually they unleash the Phantasm Flyer, which when they unleash him, he grants them one wish, and their one wish is to become their favorite comic book heroes, the Big Bad Beetleborgs, which once they get the powers of the Beetleborgs, they actually unleash all the villains from Big Bad Beetleborgs as well. So, using their powers, they have to fight the enemies from the comics. So that's pretty much the story of the TV show in a nutshell. And I really actually loved this show as a kid because all the heroes in the show were pretty much children. So it always just seemed to be a little bit more relatable than, say, the Power Rangers. But the downside is coming back to the show as an adult, it hasn't aged quite as well as the Power Rangers, but it's still really good for a laugh, and it's on Netflix, so if you guys haven't seen it, it's definitely worth going to check out. I'd also like to thank everybody that voted for this guy in the I Need Your Help video, and again, just everybody in general, you guys are awesome. So without further ado, for the packaging, has this nice white robotic look to the packaging with the image of the figure on the front here, holding his blue stinger, and also you got the stinger drill in the background, which looks really sweet. Tells you the name of the character on the bottom here. Bandai Tamashii Nation. On the side of the packaging, Beetle Fighter Blue Beets. Other side, exact same thing. Top, still going. For the back of the packaging, again, has the figure here in some really nice dynamic poses. Shows you a bunch of the stuff that he comes with the side of the packaging. Some stuff I can't understand. And some Lego mumbo jumbo. So, let's get him opened up out of his cardboard prison. Alright, so now that we have Blue Beets open up out of his prison, first we're going to go over some of his accessories, starting with his Sonic Laser, or from B-Fighter, his Input Magnum, which has a lot of very nice details, and I really love the royal blue buttons here, which it has all 11 of the buttons, which is pretty correct for the TV show. Also has this nice jet black handle here, and I just love all the indentations. And especially for how small of a weapon this is, there isn't really any noticeable imperfections in the paint job here, which is something that really impresses me for this kind of scale of an action figure. So really like the gun here. Next we'll go over the Stinger Blade, which is my favorite accessory that he comes with. It's definitely the more iconic weapon from the TV show that he had, which if you look at it, the paint job in here is this nice lighter blue metallic paint. Looks really sweet. Really like the indentations that's got going on here. Gives a lot of character to the blade. Even has a nice edge to it, which you don't have to really worry about yourself cutting on this. But the tip is a bit pointy, so I'd be a little bit wary of that. And then coming down the rest of the blade here, see that it has some nice jet black paint here. A little bit of gold around the top portion of the rest of the scarab here. Which also looks really nice, by the way. It has this nice metallic silver paint here. Same with underneath of the rest of the blade here. Looks really good. Also, this part is articulated. And I really like that it has the clear plastic here so that you can actually see the inner workings of the Stinger Blade. And what you can actually do is this part actually comes out. And it comes with an extra piece, which what this does is once you hook this in, it helps to replicate his Beetle Break move. Which in the show, what happens is the blade will start spinning, which I wish it actually did. You can get it to rotate however you want, and this part comes off with a drill bit. But it would have been nice to maybe incorporate something like that into the actual figure, but I still appreciate it nonetheless. But it is a really nice accessory to come with, so you can actually help to replicate his spinning move where he's just going like, you're done for. Then take out the blade portion. What he also comes with is the drill bit to make the Stinger drill, which all you got to do is you got to make sure these little flaps are folded out because these parts are actually articulated and pop off really, really easy. So just be a little wary of that and make sure they just stay in appropriately. And also, the peg here for these are really tiny, so again, just be super careful when messing around with this thing. But what you do is just stick it on the top of the stinger blade here. Once you get the blade out, then you just fold down the flaps here, and damn it, you fold down the flaps. There we go. And they insert into these little grooves right on the side here, and this thing's starting to pop out again. But you'll see right here where the grooves are at. And you just insert that in. If I can stop it. Showing you guys how much of a pain in the butt this is going to be a little bit. Get in there. There we go. Alright. Once it's fully enclosed, it looks really sweet. The drill bit doesn't move, sadly, which would have maybe been nice because they got the stinger blade that moves, so this would have been maybe a little bit appreciated well. But it does look really nice overall. It has a nice silver metallic paint job, a little bit of this copper color inside of the drill here, and a nice blue tip, which is also very pointy as well, so just be careful of that when messing around with the action figure, but it does look really sweet. And then, I'm not actually sure if this actually will enclose over top of the drill. Nope. That does not go in. So yeah, that won't oversit on top of the pegs here. So you just gotta make sure you have it set up in the strike blast position. But again, just so it looks sweet the way it is. So it doesn't bother me at all that it really has that little bit of a hindrance, because this is just another nice accessory for him. He's just ready to drill someone in the face. And then for his last set of accessories, comes with 8 different hands, which you get the 2 clenched fists, 2 open gesturing hands, a pointing position for his left hand, and a trigger position for his right hand. And finally, a more relaxed open hand for his left, and a gripping hand for his stinger blade / drill on his right. So for his accessories, his stinger drill and blade turned out amazing. The input magnum is a stunning sidearm for this figure. And I love the wide assortment of hand accessories that he comes with, not a lot of them being very cut and paste of each other, and most of them having their own individual characteristics, which is something that's very appreciated. So in terms of just overall accessories, this guy is already winning for me. So I'll bring in Blue Beets for a closer look. His head sculpt turned out amazing. And I know I say that with a lot of my reviews, especially with the SH Monstars figures and whatnot, but this head sculpt is truly stunning for this helmet, especially all the little details on this helmet. You just see no noticeable paint blemishes or running anywhere. Like, it's just a lot of very clean edges, and the paint job just is stunning on this. Like for starters, for the eyes inside the visor here, this nice crimson red, which just look very piercing, and overall very nicely painted in there. You don't see any noticeable blemishes or running of the paint in there, or any missing paint for that matter. It's just, especially for such a little area that they got to work with, like that turned out really nice. I really like the silver paint going over top of the visor here. It looks really nice. For the earpieces, you get this nice dark blue with some silver on the inside. And the rest of the helmet is this more metallic royal blue, which looks really nice. Really like the Japanese rhinoceros beetle crest on the top of the helmet here. And you get some black bulbs here coming out of the side here. It looks really sweet. Then moving along the neck here is this nice metallic silver paint, which comes along to the chest here. Which the chest is awesome because I love the cybernetic look that the Beetleborgs have, where it's just very futuristic looking, and especially like all the little knobs and stuff going on the chest here, which probably have no purpose at all, but it's very kind of Darth Vader-y looking, and I love it. Especially with the same dark blue and the more royal blue on the top here with some gold here around the neck. Which this detail just really helps to give this guy a very eye-catching appeal, especially standing on your shelf, because there's just so much going on in terms of this figure just with his armor. Some of the shoulder pads here look really nice too, with this dark blue with some silvers and more of the gold here. And then lifting up here just so you guys can check out the arm a little better with the lighter blue here with some silver paint in there. It looks really nice. Really like all the detail that's going on here too, with more of the plating and the cybernetic look. Then for the back here, you get this more like beetle-shaped backpack here with the crest coming out of the top of it. And I really like how they have these protruding little plates or vents, whatever you want to call them. But they kind of look like little beetle legs, and I think it just looks adorable. For his Beetleborg belts, it looks pretty cool. It has a few little knobs in here, buttons, which are golden, the same lighter blue that the rest of the armor is. And then some more of the lighter blue coming along the side here. Looks pretty good overall. Then moving down the legs here, there's a lot of very nice sharp edges inside these details here for the legs, which might be nice to see it a little bit more color, but it's pretty much accurate to the TV show, so I'm not going to really give it any notches, just because it's still a lot of awesome molded details in here. And over here on the right side, you get his holster for the input magnum slash sonic laser. But something that's actually really cool for this figure, especially for stop motion people out there, is he can actually hold onto the gun inside of the holster, which for starters is really nice because I really like posing them guys actually looking like they're about ready to draw. But what's also sweet is he can actually, and not showing it off very well, yeah. All right, take number 2. He can actually draw the input magnum out of the holster and then draw it on his unsuspecting foes or expecting foes. But I think it's just really cool that he actually can perform the maneuvers so that actually when he's holding the gun inside of the holster, it actually looks very realistic, and I just really love that added little touch that this figure has. And then moving down for the rest of the leg here, you see that for his kneecaps, they're the same dark blue that a lot of the rest of the armor has. Very circular in shape, looks pretty nice and very distinct compared to a lot of the rest of the armor on here, because this is actually, it being circular and a lot of these being more hard edges with a lot of rectangles and triangles and whatnot. It's kind of nice to see a little bit of different shapes in the armor here. Then coming along the rest of the boot here, and the Beetleborg feet, with no details underneath the feet, sadly. Then for his articulation, head sculpt, look up, down, left, right, all the way around. Has a little bit of wiggle to it and the motions. For his shoulders, the shoulder pad can actually swivel up because it's on a hinge, which is really nice. So you actually get a decent amount of range out of the arms here, which he has a joint inside the shoulder here, so get a nice wiggle to that as well. And his arm can move up about yay far, move down about yay far, can rotate all the way around. For his elbows, has a double joint here, so it can bend in about that far, bend outwards about yay far. Also has a rotation up here, forgot to point that one out. No rotation here at the elbow, a little bit of one at the hand here, then the hand also swiveling in and out a little bit. For his waist, which is probably one of the kind of complaints, it doesn't really bug me that much, but it's just something to point out, is when you bend his waist outward, you can see a lot of the gapping here in the stomach here, which is a little bit nicer, especially if you want him like exploding away from something. He's like, no, you're just gonna see a lot of the gapping here. But it can move out about that far, move in about that far for his crunch. Has a lot of dancing room inside of here, which is really nice. For the upper part of the legs, they can move out about yay far, which the plastic kind of gets in the way, but the legs can shift a little bit outwards, so it gives you a little bit more play here. And then you can shift them back in to make them look a little bit more normal. But it's pretty much about as far as you're going to get with just one leg sticking outward, which is a little bit of a bummer, especially when you want to try to move his leg backwards, because without it looking kind of weird, you can only really get it to bend about that far backwards. But he actually has a decent kick to him though still, so that's nice. And then a little bit of a rotation here, which I guess if you bend, no, that still doesn't really help any, so yeah, the bend backward kind of sucks on this guy a little bit. But not too much of a rotation here. For the knees, on the double joint, so you get a decent bend at the knee here, and a little bit of a pivot here, nothing too crazy. Then for the feet, can rotate all the way around. Can actually bend side to side too, which is really nice. And has a bend here at the toes. So for some quick comparison, here's Blue Beets comparing next to some Ultra Act figures with Ultraman Gridman and Tiga. And here's some other SH Figuarts figures with the Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger and the Red Samurai Ranger. And here's the Bandai's Power Ranger Super Mega Force Turbo Red Ranger and Gold Zeo Ranger. And here's the Figma Guyver Unit 1 and Ryuko Motoi from Kill la Kill. And finally here he is with the SH Monster Arts Gamera 1996. So overall, Blue Beets here's paint job and detail turned out awesome. Is some of the best work I've seen in the SH lines between Figuarts, Ultra X, and even the Monster Arts line. His paint job just blows me away. His leg articulation could be slightly better, but with the limitations in the armor, and these guys weren't very mobile looking people in the television show anyway, so I'll take it the way that they gave it to me. It doesn't bother me at all. And I love the wide range of accessories that he comes with, all of his signature weapons and a lot of varying hands is a great addition to the figure. But with this guy's hefty price tag of $105, which is what I picked him up for from Big Bad Toy Store, I only really recommend this guy for hardcore Big Bad Beetleborg fans or B fighters, because There just really isn't a better figure out there for you guys than Beets right here. So what do you guys think? Have you guys seen Big Bad Beetleborgs? What about Beef Fighter, or just little kids in armor not your thing? Please let us know in the comments. We'll have closer pictures on Facebook if you want to click the link description below. Please don't be afraid to share this video around. If you like this and want to see more stuff like this, please give us a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.